was called Dunn. Were you aware of that?
No.
Okay. Well, in the early 1800s, our first two commercial industries in this area, of course, were tar pitch, turpentine, and logging, because this area was just nothing but acres of longleaf pine tree, which in turn, if you look at the third picture to your far right, if you harvest, or what you call cat face, cut it into a cat face, the sap would come up. They would cut a bowl reserve at the bottom. They would scoop the sap out. They would actually throw it in a big pot with either horse manure or mule manure, and they would boil it to make tar pitch, which is where we get the name Tar Heel State, because a lot of the young soldiers worked in tar pitch and turpentine, and they had tar on their heels, when we get the name Tar Heel State. Well, getting back to the first name of Dunn, this area was called Hale's Half Acre. First unofficial name of Dunn. Second name of Dunn actually came out about one night of a drunken brawl in one of the local taverns here. A lot of people would come to the Dunn area to drink because there's little places to drink popping up in and around. And of course, more logging camps were popping up in and around this area as well. And because of this drunken brawl of about 25 men or so, it was recorded that one man's shirt was literally torn off his back and torn to shreds, hence where we get the second unofficial name, tear shirt, tore shirt. Okay. Well, of course, you've heard of the next town over, which was Irwin, or is Irwin, correct?
Yes.
Okay. You've heard of Duke University.
Yes.
The Duke family, Irwin was called Duke, as in the Duke family that spearheaded the textile industry in this area, as well as some of the tobacco industries as well. Well, the Duke family later named the town of Irwin after a beloved foreman or worker, Mr. Irwin. So in its honor, they named the town Irwin. Well, they were building a textile mill. They finished and completed the textile mill. Well, back over this way, we had the largest wagon mobile cotton yard in the whole country. And it was called Lucknow Square. Lucknow was also a little small town in India, which had a similar population to this area at that time. Well, in 1884, we had a civil engineer by the name of Bennett R. Dunn, and he was responsible for laying what would eventually become the Atlantic Coastline Railway. Excuse me. And it was the major railway that stretched out of Rocky Mount through Wilson, through Dunn, all the way to Fayetteville, later becoming the Atlantic Coastline Railway. And February 12, 1887, the town of Dunn was chartered and established, and this is where we get our namesake from, the civil engineer, Mr. Bennett R. Dunn.
Nice.
So what group are you guys from?
Excuse me?
Are you guys together, or you're?
We're together.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's good.
Okay. Well, I'd like to show you one of our other treasures we got a few months ago. I was coordinating with the Water Department of Head of State Archaeology in Raleigh, and we were able to get this beautiful treasure here. You'll have to excuse me, I've had allergies.
Oh, I totally understand.
Not cold, but just allergies. I'm kind of rustled today. We got our hands on this treasure here, and this is a Native American dugout canoe, anywhere from 500 to 800 years old. It is pre-Columbus. It was actually found on the South River in Sampson County near Autryville. And right before, I think it was Hurricane, I can't remember which hurricane it was, but anyway. But I'd like to explain how the Native American people would make these canoes. Of course, they didn't have metal axes back then. They used stone, basically. But the craft and the interesting part about how these things are made is they would burn the base of the tree. They would take one of these axe handles down here, but a little bit sharper, one that's sharper, and do a series of burn and chop till the tree would fall. Then they would do a series of burning and hollowing from one end to the other. Now this process alone would take anywhere from 3 to 4 straight days non-stop. I'm talking 24 hours a day, because this is, you had to keep its controlled burn. And while they were burning and hollowing the inside, they would take mud and put on the sides so that the thin sides would not burn. Now this particular canoe is quite rare and unique because of its size and length. Now, a lot of times these Native American canoes are 25 feet or longer. Some of them are so big that they could have held up 30 Native American warriors at one time. Okay, but this one's unique because it's 13 feet long. So I'd like to call this your late day Uber. Because this is the way that people got around, because you didn't have cars and mules or horses back then, not during this time, because this is pre-Columbus era. Now, this is has a big significance to me because I am Native American, and it came around the region that my tribe is from, which is the Coharie tribe, and we settled here in the 1600s, late 1600s, and our name is Shahari, or Coharie, tomato. Shahari actually means driftwood because we were the original Aboriginal people that lived in what is Craven and New Bern. At one time, but as the colonists were coming in droves and there was disease and war, we decided to drift up the Neuse River and settle in Sampson and Harnett counties. And so we get the name Shahari, which means driftwood, which is an Iroquois Tuscarora word for drifting upstream, driftwood. So, and also, if you'll excuse me, you'll see some pottery shards. Now, anybody know what pottery shards are?
Yes.
Okay, for Native Americans, what they would do is they would make pottery, lots of it, because they would use it to store water, food. They would actually also cook in them. And these are local pottery shards that were found in and around Dunn in the Black River. And of course, we have some local arrowheads and of course some tools. And of course, we have some Sacral Tobacco that's in the middle. Native American people have utilized, Native American peoples from even as far up as Canada, as far down as the South Americas have utilized tobacco, sacred tobaccos, in ceremony, and we still use these things. Now, sacred tobacco is just tobacco that's grown and it's prayed over. It has actually no pesticides in it whatsoever. And usually it's someone of stature in the tribe that grows this, or an elderly person, or a Bible holder, or a holy person. But that's very old sacred tobacco there. And Native Americans use tobacco for many different reasons, not just medicinally, but Native Americans would always believe that if you smoke the tobacco, it carries your prayers to Creator. And, you know, we still believe that today. And when certain things happen traditionally, when you go to certain ceremonies that we have, we use tobacco during certain ceremonies. We give tobacco and we receive tobacco for many, many different reasons. And this is just some of our Native American artifacts here. I'm very proud of them. And if you look here, that's an example of how the Native Americans would have ridden in these canoes. Now that one would be, of course, larger than this one. I am under the assumption, because of some research that I've done, that this, you would have stood up in this canoe, not sat down in it. Do I have any questions about anything? Okay,
No.
well guys, look around, and we do have this floor and the bottom floor. My name is Christy. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, okay? All right?
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Christy. Let's start on this side. That was last decade. That was perfect timing. In the morning.
Dunn, North Carolina, right here. Yes, sir. So we're gonna get into it. We're gonna see what Dunn has to offer. We got a little history at the museum, and we're gonna get in there
Cool. No, I was just reading about
There
him.
would not have been a Jimi Hendrix or an Elvis without Link Ray. You ever seen the movie Pulp Fiction?
Yeah.
Okay. He was born in Dunn in 1929. He is the father of the modus operandi. He revolutionized the distorted sound to the power chord to the electric guitar. Wouldn't have been a Jimi Hendrix without Link Ray. Okay.
Wow. Link Ray from my hometown, Dunn, North Carolina, representing. Oh.
He was Native American. His father was Shawnee, and his mother was Tuscarora and White. Okay, about 3 years ago, Sundance Film Festival came out with a wonderful documentary about Native Americans and their contribution to genres in American music and music across the world. He is featured in this because of his contribution to music and rock and roll itself. Through the years, we just got his Grammy. He was inducted into the Grammy Music Hall of Fame, and
Dunn got a Grammy, baby! Woo! That's what I'm talking about. Dunn got a Grammy sitting in the museum downtown. Go and take a look at it. That's what I'm talking about.
a few months ago, they just inducted him into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. We'll be getting that later. And we have his Native American.
What? And the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is for real, baby. This is for real. This is real. Dunn got a Grammy, and we're gonna be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Turn up!
Hall of Fame Music Award here. And of course, his induction into the North Carolina Music Hall of Fame.
I am super excited. I love watching a video over and over again. I just keep learning something new every time. This is really exciting. And here we go. Stay tuned, folks. We're tuning back in.
Look at the guitar. That is one of the signature guitars in the whole world, which were made for each of his children that feature his greatest hits from front and back. Now, Rumble is the song that made it. Now, I'm going to play this song for you. And you ever seen the movie Pulp Fiction? Okay, now listen to this song. Now, the song I'm about to play you was his first, greatest, biggest hit. It's called Rumble.
That Link Ray. Wow, stoked. Yeah. You learned about your city today. That's all right. We are going to get into it. Everybody know the sound. Everybody heard the song. If you haven't seen the movie, here it is right here. She's going to play it for us right now.
This is...
I'm super excited.
Okay, when this song came out, it was 1958. It was instrumental. But the local radio stations banned this song because they weren't used to the...
They thought it was intimidating. The ram. People were fighting anyway from the white liquor and the corn liquor they were drinking out there, the moonshine. That's what were making the people fight. It wasn't the music. Music still being made today. People still fighting today. So it wasn't the music, bruh.
It was intimidating. And they were afraid that people were going to fight and gangs were going to break out. And yeah. But here's the band song Rumble.
Yeah.
It's Link Ray. Can you believe that? Right here.
Right here in Dunn.
Yeah.
Little old Indian boy from Dunn.
Right? Wow.
Revolutionized the modus operandi. And we're getting 2 of his Grammys.
Right?
Wow.
Congrats.
2 of the
I am so
Grammys.
excited.
Get it.
Well needed. Yeah, I've been coming home. I've never wanted to give anything back, but this time I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do a documentary about my hometown to show people where I'm from. And look at all the good information I'm getting.
Well, geez, let me tell you.
Miss Sharon sent me over here.
Oh yeah, Sharon, I love Sharon.
Miss Sharon was funny too. I went to another museum around the corner. Thank you, Miss Sharon. And we just had a ball, and she sent me to the Dunn Museum over there. And here you go. You're watching the video. We're gonna get back into it. Let's roll the cameras.
Yeah, she told me all about you guys, me and TJ. This is my nephew.
Well, hey, TJ.
Yeah, he knows your daughter.
Yeah.
My daughter,
She graduated.
Anna Marie.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
do?
I think when I was in 9th grade.
My baby, Anna Marie. My baby. Okay. All right. Well, let me show you guys this.
Okay.
We're talking about famous. But let me introduce you to somebody else who is extremely has a big deal to do with history. Excuse me. Okay, this is Major General William Seeley. He is the father of the American Airborne, and he actually invented.
If you didn't hear what she said, he is the father of the American Airborne. Attack from the air, baby. Jump. Let's jump on them. He created that. Well, at least that's what I think she's saying.
The American Airborne wouldn't have been a Fort Bragg or 101st Airborne Division unit without this guy.
But General Lee did fight in World War I and World War II. He was a G, baby. General.
He and his wife David, there's a museum that's dedicated to his life in his home that's on West of Vine Street here in Dunn. And I recommend that before you leave that you go over there and check that out too. But these are pictures from V-Day, July 3rd, 1942.
Wow.
And if you look to the left there, that sign that says Princess, that is the actual building that you're in. This building is on the Historic Registry of Places.
Wow.
It's well over 100 plus years old. And this store was originally Princess Department Store, which was a high-end department store. It had 3 levels. Now we only have 2 levels here, but they have, excuse me, they have apartments upstairs. But this was Princess Department Store. And the Prince family, if you'll go straight into your right. Okay, here, take a left right here. We have, let me introduce you to this guy. This is Clifford Lake. He was on the National Negro League.
I actually met him the last time I went home, and I took a picture with him. I posted it on Instagram. He walked into one of the pizza places there on 421. He is such a nice man. He gave me one of his cards. I got some stuff from the National Negro Baseball Museum. Yeah, check out my merch right here. I got this nice shirt. I rocked that on my birthday. And I got these awesome cards right here. I didn't open them up yet. I'm gonna open them up on TikTok and just go over some of the information on there. Pretty cool stuff to talk about, you know what I mean? So I like stuff like that. So I picked it up. And I met him. He was really nice. All right, here we go. She's going to finish giving us the tour.
Yes, he is from Dunn. He played on the New York Black Yankees from 1951 to 1954. See, that was back then when sports were not integrated, but the Negro Leagues had their own league of professional baseball.
Right?
And
Way to
we have
go,
one of
brothers.
the best right here from Dunn.
Right here, baby. Right here. He told me his story. He ended up getting hurt and stuff like that. You know, just a natural tragedy. It happens to some players. Some players go their whole life and don't get hurt. You know, it happens.
He is, I think he's about 80. He's 80.
He's still alive?
Yeah, he's still alive. Oh, he's spry.
Wow.
I love him. He's a wonderful. Everyone's, matter of fact, he came in here. Right up here. He's old, but he's just very spry and just a lovely gentleman.
Okay.
And he, before we opened,
There we go, right there.
yeah, that's him.
like I said, I got to meet Mr. Layton. It was a pleasure. Right there in my hometown, we got the Grammys. We got somebody who created the airborne, in the war. We got a general from the war. We got the National Negro baseball player. Like, we got a little bit of everything there. Had some slaves there. Used to be slaves. My great grandma used to be a slave. All that stuff, man. All that stuff went on right there in Dunn. It was just a part of the United States, just like any other southern town.
And before we opened the museum, I was sitting at the desk and I was working on some paperwork. And I see this sweet man coming off the street. And he said, I heard you guys were opening up a museum. I said, well, yes, sir. He said, well, I'm Clifford Lakeman, and I played for the National Negro League, and I'm from Dunn. And I said, oh, wow, I'd love to have some of your stuff. So a few weeks later, he came in and brought his baseball, his jacket, his ball, and his picture of his team.
Wow.
So
I got that jersey,
we were
baby.
real excited about having that.
Yeah.
Man, that is amazing.
You could tell she was excited too, boy. You seen the look on her face. You might have to rewind and check it out. She was smiling so hard. It was a great moment to go there and find out that information. But like I said, I grew up in that town, and that is stuff that I never learned because, I was never taught that, or I never took interest in it then, but I've taken an interest in it now. And that's why I'm passing it on to you, and I hope you get some good information out of it. Let's get back to the story.
All this history right here that I grew up, great inspiration right here.
We'll look around, guys.
Okay.
Any questions, just ask.
Thank you. Now I've heard of this guy, Tic Tac Johnson.
Yeah, my aunt used to talk about him, Mr. Tic Tac. He was a nice man, she said.
My aunt used to talk about him. Not really sure, but he's in the museum. So, Mr. Dafford. I know Mr. Tucker.
So you got all the mortuaries right there, the Daffords and the Tuckers. Michael Tucker, what's up? If you're still out there, hit me up. Take a follow.
Damn, it's like I've seen him before.
Man, we got some great information. Look, parking meters. Damn, they used to have parking meters.
Boy, they might bring them back. Y'all better watch it. They trying to collect all the change. It's a change shortage. Pepsi Cola from North Carolina, for all you people who didn't know. Born right there in Carolina. So we got Pepsi, we got Michael Jordan, we got General Lee, we got the National Negro from my town, baby. What's up? Yeah, my town jumping hot, still hot. Grammys. Your town got a Grammy? What I thought. With Gene Wood Harris. They need to bring that dress back, and where all that white at, put some Louis or Gucci, put that Gucci symbol in there. Boom, you in the game, baby. In the game. All those toys, little tape recorder or something right there. I think it's a tape recorder. Scientific contraptions, thingamajiggies, phonograph, microphone, radio station, all that stuff. Hunting. Let's go kill something. Yes, I woke up this morning, grabbed my gun, and I went hunting. No, I haven't been hunting in a while. But you know what? I kind of grew out of that. Like, I don't like to go hunting now. That's something I was taught. You know, I don't want to go kill a deer. He hasn't did anything to me. But if you like to hunt, go hunt. Paratroopers. Oh, look at those dominoes. Wonder if they worth anything. Ooh, coon jigger. What is that? What? OMG, I never noticed it said that. Yeah, you saw it.